I'd like to welcome you guys to this week's report. Today is Thursday, September 25th. Surprising how quickly September is sliding by. It seemed like summer was never going to end, and now fall is, I think, officially here, right around the corner. So, a lot of stuff happened this last week. The biggest thing was the War Heroes on Water event. Happened over the weekend. If you guys aren't familiar, War Heroes on Water is an organization that takes out wounded veterans through the Freedom Alliance Foundation. And this year they took out 125 wounded veterans on, I think, 60 boats donated by boat owners. And they also raised over $1 million towards the Freedom Alliance to help wounded veterans get through life in general, but also do things like help them get vehicles or homes or things like that. So, if you're the owner of a boat that is large enough to have 4 or 5 people on it for 3 days, and you're not involved in War Heroes in Water, I definitely highly recommend reaching out to them. They have a website. They're always looking for boats, and at the last minute, see, they line up 60 boats to do this, and then inevitably 1 or 2 will break down, or something will happen. But having done this multiple times, I wasn't able to go on it this year because I was busy working, but it's an amazing weekend. You get to know the vets that you're fishing with. You have a wonderful impact on their lives by taking them out. They have very low expectations. They're just out there to have fun and bond with fellow vets on the boat and also get to know you. So if you've been holding off on getting involved, I highly recommend it. They do it every year. So a little update on Tom and Cash Troop's boat. I went over to Seal Beach Boatworks this morning and to drop off the money we raised. We raised $4,034. I pitched in some extra to bring it up to $4,250 to give to Ricky at Seal Beach Boatworks. The reason the boat is costing quite a bit more to repair than expected. Ricky is generously covering the cost of that, and I thank him very much for that. But you know, a way that you guys can help out Ricky and just thank him for doing this is if you guys need any service on your boat, please check out Seal Beach Boatworks. They're really doing a favor for a fellow angler here, and I'd love to see them rewarded in getting some extra business. They didn't ask me to say anything about this. This is all for me, but you know, you have an option on where you get your boat serviced, and why not do it at a place that helps out fellow fishermen? So yeah. Oh, Tom sent me a video of the end of the Bay Basher. Here it is.
R.I.P. SS Bay Basher. Final voyage. Adios, my friend. Adios.
So I don't talk a lot about hoop netting, but the season starts tomorrow, Friday, and CCA California is also having their Ambush the Season Lobster Derby with associated with Promar. You can go to the CCA California website to find out more. $40 entry, you can win some great prizes. If you're going hoop netting anyway, all you can do is lay your lobster down on the measuring board, take a picture, submit it on the Fishing Chaos app. You can win some prizes to go along with your delicious dinner. Also, this weekend on Saturday, I mentioned last week, the CCA Inland Empire chapter is having their Anglers Night Out. It's at 6 p.m. at the Skyland Brewery. They're going to be premiering a new episode of Stoked on Fishing, and Shane McAfee will be there as the host. So if you live anywhere near there, you might want to stop by. Again, you can find that information out on the CCA website, and also register for free tickets so that they know you're going to be there. And sorry about all the CCA information here. I've got a lot of events happening next month here, and I want to make sure everybody's aware of them. A lot of fun opportunities. And right here for me, I'm going to let Luke Burson, the president of our Orange County chapter, tell you what's going on.
Luke Burson here. I'm part of CCA California, the Orange County chapter. We have a really exciting event coming up here soon. It is our 5th annual golf tournament fundraiser. It's at the Costa Mesa Country Club on October 24th. That's a Friday. This is truly a angler's golf tournament, and all proceeds go to help fund the many initiatives at CCA California. The golf tournament is supported by the industry. Most holes, in fact all holes, have a sponsor, and they are manufacturers, they are landings, they're boats, they're tackle shops, they're clothing, and at those holes there's usually a game or a refreshment. At one hole we're serving fresh fried rice. At another hole there's a casting contest on the fairway. So there's something to do at every hole. It's a scramble format, which means even the non-golfer can have fun and contribute. It's also a competitive format where we have awards for the first, second, and third foursomes that score the least. And after we have the event, we have lunch and awards, and then a killer raffle that includes not only golf items, but fishing items and outdoor items. Very easy to register. Go to ccacal.org, select events at the top, scroll down, and pick our event and register. Foursomes are $800. Individuals are welcome at $200. And again, all the proceeds go to help fund the many important initiatives at CCA California. Hope to see you at the golf course.
Well, with that all out of the way, we've got some great weather this weekend. Best weekend weather I've seen in quite a while. Looks like it's very little wind at all anywhere. So that bodes well. I really hope it doesn't change because tired of the wind. On to the fishing. Channel Islands, still that late summer, early fall mixed bag fishing. A little bit of everything. I know the Aloha Spirit yesterday, they had 18 halibut for 15 anglers, which is a pretty good number. And they also caught bonita, calico bass, rockfish, just a variety of stuff. Just fun fishing, you know. It's not like you're out there chasing sonar school sea bass around all day or driving around looking for bluefin offshore. You actually go to the island, you fish, you catch fish, move to other spots, catch something different, just have fun. It's a lot less pressure, and it's really more my style of fishing. And again, with that good weather up here this weekend, I'm sure some boats will go exploring around a little bit more. Might find a sea bass again out of Rosa. I think we're just coming off the new moon. I was wrong last week when I spoke, but I might still be wrong today. But I don't really pay too much attention to the full moon unless I'm fishing calico bass, which I really haven't been lately. So heading down, I don't have any reports from San Nick or SBI right now, but I do want to share with you that my friend Oliver Nye is starting up his deepwater rock fishing trips with jigging tackle, and he runs those through the fall. He's got an open party trip he wanted me to let you know about on October 12th. I think that is, yeah, October 12th. And that ticket price includes the boat ride and all the jigging tackle and jigs you're going to need to use. So if you've been wanting to learn how to do some deepwater jigging on your own boat or on sport boats or whatever, you're going to learn a lot jumping on with Oliver. And he's definitely catches a lot of nice rockfish, big lingcod, everything else. He's got that whole thing pretty dialed in. So even if you're not interested in going on an open party with him, you can definitely charter his boat. I always give his email address, but his phone number, if you want it, is 844-347-4223, or Oliver at BigBassDreams.com. Definitely a sharp guy and definitely can help you become a better fisherman. So Clemente, I got quite a bit of coverage over the weekend with the War Heroes event going on. Some of the boats in the cove caught fish, others did not. A lot of boat traffic in there. You know, you got probably 50 boats instead of the normal 10. Can make it a little tougher fishing. But the Thunderbird and the Fury have consistently been catching some really good grade of yellowtail out there. All that stuff is late night, early morning. You know, within a few hours before or after dawn. A couple of pictures of Fury show some of the backlashes of dropper loops and everything else. So, you know, if you're a sport boat guy and you're anchored up on a squid ground wherever, your best bet is to go to the part of the boat that has the least amount of people in it. And a lot of times when everyone wants to fish in the stern, you can go up the bow, you can go halfway down the side, whatever. It doesn't matter. The fish are not responding to chum. There's a bunch of squid down there going around hoovering up. So something to keep in mind. And keep in contact with your weight the whole time. Don't have any slack when you're fishing vertically with a torpedo sinker, or you're going to end up like some of those guys did. Other St. Clement Island news, the boats are also catching calico bass. A lot of boats get nice, real nice big grade of them right now, anchored up at the kelp. They're also catching smaller yellowtail on the front side of the island, and the rock fishing at the island's good, really good right now as well. So a lot of options. It's kind of like the Channel Islands right now. You go and fish for yellows in the morning, and then just hop around fishing for different species throughout the day. Just fun fishing, no pressure, nothing like that. So it's a good time of year. Weather's gonna be great this weekend. I'd imagine if some of the private boat bass guys will probably be heading over there if they're not still chasing tuna around, but might be a great day to do it, Saturday or Sunday. So heading into Cat, again, not as much coverage. Jimmy Decker actually ran his own boat as a game boat for one of the larger yachts for War Heroes that did not have a fishing capacity, and he said good bass fishing. It was kind of windy southeast wind over the weekend, so that kind of screwed things up. But the boats that fished the island at Catalina caught bass, bonita, rockfish, all the other stuff during War Heroes. One of the boats were fishing the backside east end. They only had sardines. They got 2 nice sea bass doing that. And also the sport boats, the Pursuit and the Gale Force, they're getting on some better grade yellows at the islands. I know the Pursuit had a day earlier in the week where they got a handful of really nice sized fish. And I saw some video, they're boiling around the boat and stuff like that, which is pretty cool to see. I know the Gale Force got them as well. And the Pursuit also got some nice halibut. So that type of fishing, for those yellows, I've seen them over there this time of year. I think it was last year I was over there. Unless you're anchored up and chumming, those spots of yellows that pop up are going to be up and down really quick. And you probably won't get a shot of them. The ones we saw last year, we had just gotten to the island, and we didn't have a service iron rod rigged up, and saw breezer yellows come up, all big fish like that on the west end there. And but by the time it took us to grab a jig, tie it on, and make a cast, those fish were gone. We never saw them again. So be ready. If you're a private boater, you don't have much time. They're not staying up. You probably got less than a minute from the time you see them to catch them without chum. Alright, so locally, I haven't heard a whole lot from up here. I know that the salmon bass are biting on deeper structure spots, calicos as well. There's no reason the calicos should not be biting in the kelp at Palos Verdes or adjacent areas, except for the fact that I'm not there. I'm sure they're biting. If I were there, they would not be. But yeah, I mean, basically from Marina del Rey all the way down to Dana Point, it's just steady, mostly bass fishing. I talked to Donna over at State of War Sport Fishing, and she said their 1/2 and 3/4 day boats are catching mostly bass. And on the days that they have anchovies in the bait receiver, they're having better fishing. They're also getting fish with sardines. And on the days they have anchovies, the guys that are throwing the hard baits like the Daiwa SP minnow, other things like that, are catching calicos on that. Otherwise, it's dropper loop or sliding egg sinker type of fishing. But yeah, so they're also getting, sorry, I wrote it down and then forgot to mention, they're also catching some bonita, along with rockfish and sheephead and things like that. So it's just, just standard junk fishing as I call it. But I'm reaching out to more people to get you guys more information. So I've got Donna from Dana War Sport Fishing giving me information. I'm reaching out to some other sport boats to get some more, not just generic reports. And I spoke with Ernie Prieto from Oceanside Sport Fishing. He's going to start giving us some reports. I'm working on a couple people I know down in San Diego to start reporting more regularly, and hopefully give you guys some information. I want to take care of my guys down south as well. Speaking of which, the Coronados, yellows are still biting. Some days it's pretty good, other days it's pretty tough. But there's fish biting, they're getting them on jigs, they're getting them on flatline baits, things like that. I know the San Diego and the Mission Bell both had pretty good trips earlier this week. And I actually spoke with Captain Ryan Bostian from the San Diego this morning about the bite down there, and he says the biggest problem they've been facing this year is that the private boats have just been engaging in a lot of bad behavior. And as a private boater, I've seen it. He said a very interesting way of putting it. He said that the private boats this year at the Coronados are treating the sport boats as if they are a piece of structure, as opposed to another boat. So he said he'll anchor up, get his strum line going, and he ends up with a bunch of private boaters slow trolling mackerel in circles around him, or slow trolling sardines in circles around him trying to catch yellowtail. So I know that everybody's excited to go down and catch yellowtail, and you may not be confident in how to find them on your own boat without following the lead of somebody that's there every day. But once you start circling the sport boats with your slow troll baits, all you're doing is shutting down the bite for everybody. They're not going to catch them, you're not going to catch them, no one's going to catch them. So just think about it. What I would do if I were going down there and I saw boats, let's say I see the San Diego anchored on a spot, without driving right up to it, I would just look on my chart and see where they were in relation to the island, see what kind of structure they're on. Are they on a ridge? What topographical feature are they on? And then I would look for other similar topographical features nearby or far away for that matter. It doesn't really matter. It's, a lot of times those fish are spread around. And then just try and recreate that on your own boat when you're not around everybody else. And a good rule of thumb to keep in mind is the bigger the gangbang is, the less likely you are to catch fish on your own boat. It may look like it's the end of the world bite going 3 sport boats, 50 private boats, oh, it must be really hot action. Well, it might be for 1 or 2 boats, but the rest of the guys are going to do what you're doing, just watching and annoying other people and, getting frustrated yourself. So, but Ryan did have some good advice. He said, if you're unsure what to do when you get to the island, anywhere, Coronado Islands, any other island where you're up around fishing around sport boats, look what they're doing and do the same thing on your boat. If all the sport boats are anchored, don't slow troll or drive in circles around them or drift down their sides, put your anchor down. If they're drifting, don't try and anchor up below them to take advantage of where they're drifting on. It works a lot easier, but it just works together and all the boats work in unison. And again, 100 yards, let me rephrase that. If there's an anchored boat or a drifting sport boat or other boat that's chumming, I would give a 100-yard minimum berth if I'm going to go behind them down their chum line. And if I'm going to go to the sides of them, I'm going to give them at least 50 to 75 yards, because that's what I would want someone to do for me if I was in that same situation. Anyway, yeah, there's still some bluefin around there as well. I know the Lucky Bee, we get some nice great yellowfin and smaller bluefin. And I know there's bluefin pretty close to the islands as well, but I'll get to that in a minute. So offshore fishing, it's pretty much par for the course here right now. The fish are, well, the last couple days have been a little bit slower, but over the weekend that smaller grade of bluefin is still in that triangle between the the west end of Cat, west end of Clemente, and the Osborne Bank, or Santa Barbara Island for that matter. It moves around there quite a bit. We're having less coverage up in that zone during the week, so there may be more fish than we're hearing about up there. I don't think they left entirely. Water temperatures look the same and everything else. This weekend might be a great time to look with the good weather. But again, that's just that smaller grade of fish for the most part. A few bigger ones mixed in, but not much. And the boats that are finding them are still getting to come to the boat with chum and catching them on flatline baits, making it for much easier fishing than run and gun. So there's fish out of the Tanner and Cortez banks. That's where I would say the majority of the sport boats, overnight, day and a half, multi-day trips out of anywhere, are fishing. They're fishing on the anchor during the day. They're getting those smaller bluefin. There's some bigger yellows out there. They're fishing kind of on the deep side of things, so it's not like you catch the rockfish and whitefish and stuff like you do when you're just fishing yellows there. But that's been a pretty consistent bite. I know the Pacific Queen got back for a 3.5-day trip. They had limits of bluefin, and then they also caught limits of yellowfin down south. And that stuff down south is outside and below the Coronados. That's the main area the guys are fishing. Few days the yellowfin bit really well. I saw a video from someone where they were just hand feeding him out from the dip net on the corner, just foaming, not foaming, but feeding. Drop sardine over the side, and the yellowfin comes and eats it. They're smaller fish. The boats are getting limited. It's a fun fish to catch. Better eating than bluefin at that size, I believe, at least cooked. And there are some bigger bluefin down there as well, though. And I know the Tribute, the other day, they had limits to those small yellowfin, and 30 yellows, 8 dorado. And then they went out and stumbled onto the school of those bigger bluefin and caught a couple of those. And the Legend got on some on a night bite earlier this week as well, that bigger grade. So what it looks like is there's bigger bluefin down below the border, there's smaller bluefin up above the border. There were some bigger bluefin between, I would call it Cortez and the corner, but I don't know that a lot of that got looked at in recent days. It's kind of a weird angle from the boats that are running directly to the bank, so it's kind of below and outside, and there just isn't that much boat coverage going on, but I'm sure that that's still a possibility. Anyway, I think I've talked enough here. And it's good to hear that those yellowfin and dorado and stuff are starting to show up. They're a little late, but better late than never. And it looks like, with the weather we have this weekend, there should be a lot of coverage and hopefully a lot of good fish counts. But that's about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend and good luck if you fish.